Beginner gardeners, we're back again. All right, this time I'm going to give you guys the 10 easiest vegetables that you can grow in your garden. These vegetables, most of these, my very first year growing, I made an attempt to grow these and was successful. Um, Another reason why these things are going to be on my list is because they are very versatile. They're easy to grow no matter what method of growing that you're growing with, as far as it being in-ground growing, the traditional growing, raised bed growing, or container growing. All of these on this list will provide for you. The other reason why I like these is not only that they're easy to grow, but you can grow a lot of them in a small spot and they continue to give you great yields. So, um, for people who don't have, I'm partial to the urban gardener, the person who doesn't have a huge yard, and a person who might only be able to grow from containers, or they might only have a small plot of grass that they can use to grow in and grow with. What can they grow and grow a lot of it and it not be so difficult to grow? That's what makes these things make it to my list. So number one, really quickly, and I put these in alphabetical order because I couldn't figure out another order to put them in. Number one is basil. Basil is not a veggie, but it is an herb, and it is something that I believe that you will want to grow. It's very easy to grow. It helps out other plants in your garden. It kind of likes warm temperatures, but not too warm. But you can continue to keep it through the summer if you keep it trimmed back. It grows a little bit in a lot of space and it will continue to grow for you. And it's versatile. You can use it in soups. You can use it in um, pasta sauces. You can use it in salads. You can actually use it in infused water. So it's very simple, easy to grow, one of the easiest herbs for you to grow. Beets, number two on my list, in alphabetical order. So beets, very simple to grow. The only thing I noticed that beets require is that they don't like, and this is for all root vegetables, things that grow down, they don't want rock or hard clay soils most of the time because they're growing down. So in order for you to get a nice shape down there, you want to have softer or well-tilled ground. And you also don't want, you want well-drained ground, right? Because if it's going down, you don't want something that has so much moisture in there that it gets soggy, because then that bulb gets soggy and gets diseased. But if you're doing a container gardening, you're doing raised bed gardening or in-ground gardening, it's very hard for you to do these things. You won't have any problem growing beets. You put them in. You can even do these from seed, even as a beginner. You won't have any issues. Collards and kale. I put them on the same list because they're in the same family, and basically, they whatever you need to do to grow collards is the same thing you need to grow kale. Love them because they're easy, grow a lot in a small space, continue to grow. Um, you can buy varieties that they are all most greens are colder. They like the cold weather better. So early spring, fall, early winter, all the way up into that real hard frost. Most leafy vegetables are going to require that. But you can purchase varieties that are more heat tolerant. So the ones that I grow, I can grow collards and kale even through the summertime. So I really love them. Only issue you're going to have with collards and kale is this bug that likes to eat them. So as long as you keep that bug in check, you'll have no problems. Number four, cucumbers. Cucumbers are amazing plant. They're a vine, so they will need something to grow up on, and that can be as simple as putting sticks together as a teepee, or if you want to be more sophisticated and build a trellis, you can, or put a fence, you can, or if you can grow it next to a fence that's already there and they'll just climb up your fence, Besides that, they're very easy. They give you a whole lot, and you don't need that many. My first year, I grew 4 cucumber plants. I can't grow that many anymore because, I mean, I was, cucumbers coming from everywhere. So cucumbers are very easy to grow, even from seed. Green beans. Green beans, string beans, these are very, very, very easy to grow. I like the bush variety because they don't require any additional trellising and you can grow a lot in a small space. I would actually, on the same line with green beans, I would probably put peas, even though they're totally different in how they grow. Peas require, they're like kind of viney, so they do require a little bit of a trellis, but I grow them the exact same way. The only difference is peas, I grow them, peas like colder weather, and green beans like the warmer weather. That's the only difference. But besides that, and the trellis, I grow them the same exact way, and I get the same exact results. I don't recommend buying these in starts. Everybody should grow these from seed. Very simple to do. Put it in. The seed is really big. You put it in, cover it up, water it, and it's going to grow. Simple as that. Number 6, lettuce. I grow lettuce all day long. Love lettuce. I love every type of lettuce. I love all lettuce colors. I love all lettuce shapes, the soft kind, the hard, crunchy kind, the frizzy kind. Very, very versatile. Only thing with lettuce, you need to have, it likes the colder weather. It does not like the hot temperatures. So, um, it doesn't need a whole lot of sun either because it doesn't like the hot temperatures. So if you could put it in a place where it gets a little more shade and a little less sun than everything else, that'll be better for your results with lettuce. But they could grow in the sun if you take care of them. But lettuce. Radishes. Radishes are one of those things where a lot of people don't eat radishes, but I recommend everybody grow radish from seed because, one, radishes are like, they're the fastest thing you can grow from seed to harvest. And it's one of those things like, it's like once you put a radish seed in and then 30 days later you pull it out and you got this fully formed radish. It's one of those things that's like, yes, I accomplished something. So I always kind of recommend people just grow radishes. Also, they do help out other things in your garden. They do repel some insects that are that negatively affect your garden, and they also attract to the tops of radishes. They attract some bugs that will start eating the radishes instead of eating some of your stuff that you want to protect. So I like using radishes in my garden. Spinach. Love spinach. Only thing with spinach, the only issue you have with spinach is spinach requires it to be a little bit colder. So it likes the cold weather. So it does not tolerate heat well at all. So just be mindful of that. But as far as the ease of growing it, no problem. And the other issue with spinach is you need to grow a lot of spinach because once you put it in a pot, it's going to start wilting and what you picked. It may look like a whole bunch, but once you put it in the pot, it just comes down, right? So most times, if you only got a little bit of spot and you're growing spinach, eat it raw or juice it or something like that, and then that way it looks like that little bit of spinach went a long way. Swiss chard, that's number 9. Swiss chard, I love Swiss chard. And Swiss chard, when I grow spinach, I also grow Swiss chard. And most times when I'm cooking cooking spinach, it's actually 50% spinach and 50% Swiss chard together because Swiss chard has a spinach-like taste. It can taste a little more earthy in the summertime, but you can buy milder varieties of chard, like one that's called perpetual spinach. Not actually a spinach, but it tastes closer to spinach, and it's actually a mild chard, but it they are more heat tolerant than spinach is. So literally in the early spring when it's cool outside, your spinach is growing, you're growing your chard at the same time. It starts getting warm for that summertime. The spinach is going to say, I'm done. Your chard will continue to grow all through the summer. So I love Swiss chard. I love that family. And lastly, number 10 on the list, tomatoes. Tomatoes are wonderful, very easy. It's a million varieties of them, all different sizes. The only issue that you have with tomatoes, really, in my opinion, the largest issue is you just have to make sure it's properly secured. And tomatoes go like this. The larger the tomato, the larger the plant is going to go. Okay, so that means height as well as how far it can stretch out. So, but there are methods of pruning and trimming tomatoes to keep them in check or whatever. But if you're not going to be pruning or anything like that, you just need to make sure that it's properly secured. I have a video on some tomato trellises that you can use to properly secure your tomatoes. But once they're properly secured, I mean, that's it. They're good to go. And the only thing else I will say about tomatoes, if you are a container gardener, I will say don't get unless you're professional, but if you got a little bit of space, right, and you're going to grow tomatoes, don't grow the big boys, even though you can in a pot or whatever. Grow the smaller patio sized tomatoes or cherry tomatoes because it'll be a better use of your space, in my opinion. So besides that, that's it, guys. These 10 things, you will not have a problem growing. If you make an attempt, you will be successful. Guys, if you have any questions, make sure you leave me a comment, share this video, and I'll talk to you guys later.